to 10-Minute Musicality, a show where in a bit more than 10 minutes we're gonna look for inspiration for exploring our musicality and creativity in our tango expression. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna watch some very nice clips of performances of famous couples and see what we can learn from them regardless of how experienced we are with tango. So even if we are complete beginners, or if we are advanced, there's certainly a lot that we can learn and lots of inspiration that we can find in the dancing of maestros. The first topic for before going there, let me first say thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving us so far. It really means a lot. And if you wish to support us further, please look at the link below in the description. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to see how limitations can help us, or the power of limitations. How limiting a certain aspect of our dance can open up creativity in some other aspect of our dance. And we're going to look at a performance of Carlitos and Noelia at Encuentro a few years ago to this beautiful song by D'Arienzo, El Ultimo Café. By the way, Sonia did a beautiful sort of radio show with some interesting things about D'Arienzo that we hope to publish in English soon as well. So please check out the links to get more details on that. So this is the show by Carlitos and Noelia, as I mentioned, and here they're dancing. This is the first of 5 songs that they're dancing, and as you can imagine, planning 5 songs can be quite a challenge. You have to make it. You may have to make all of them different in some way. So you also have to change the way you dance. And what they've done here, because this song is what is this song like? It's very romantic, but also kind of intense in a way. It's like this, for me, it's like this huge river that flows. And in a way, we the dancers are flowing on this river. And this is something that they did as well. What they did is basically they asked themselves, how can we limit ourselves? I'm not saying that they did this consciously, like they talked about it, but you will see what happened in the dance itself. But in a way, what they decided is, let's limit ourselves in one way so that we create this beautiful effect of flow. And the way they limited themselves is by not allowing themselves to do anything that is too dynamic or too big of a change of movement, of direction of movement. So, they can be very dynamic when they dance. When you watch other D'Arienzos like Pensala Bien or something where they dance, there's lots of change direction, very sharp movement and so on. Here they went a different route. They said, let's have much more flow. Let's try that if we go, forward, let's make a few steps forward in that direction and not immediately change back. Or if we're going circular, let's make a few steps in a circular manner without suddenly going back and forth or something like that. And you will see what kind of effect this movement created. So let's start from the beginning. What's the first thing that you can notice? They actually stood on the side like they're going to start dancing in the ronda, like they're at a regular milonga, which immediately gives a different kind of energy than, when couples come from the middle of the floor, there's this feeling of something big is going to happen, there's going to be something very cool and stuff. This is much more intimate from the start. And as you can see, they're going straight. And now comes a bit more intense part where usually you would want to maybe go back or do something dynamic. Here they just do side steps. They don't want to break the flow of this movement. They don't want to go back. So you see they will go side, continue, side again. And see how they maintain this flow. This was a very nice part that you can see. It's great because there's the link of the performance will be in the description of video, and you can actually take the time to to watch the performance once only focusing on him and once only focusing on her, to see the moments where he is moving in such a way to allow her to have continuous movement, and in other parts she is moving in such a way that he is moving like in a straight line. So for instance here, sorry, so if we look at him once more, just look at him, she's going around him and he is continuing straight. And you see they made a whole full circle. Now they come here and now they're gonna change and go back. Again, they maintain this continuous movement. And now there is this wonderful part. You will see them making a circle and then going back and then continuing forward. But again, try to observe how they maintain continuous movement, like a flow, like a boat flowing on the river. So she's going around him and then they're going there and now they're continuing straight. And here's the beautiful part. Watch how she moves. That was such a lovely part. Let's watch it once more. Just this bit. Now let's just watch her. Just a bit back. So the way she moves continuously. So you see they are switching between, there's always one of them moving continuously in flow, and the other one is sort of supporting the person to do that. Let's take a look at another very nice part. Ah, yes, here it is. So what they're gonna do now, let's just first see it. Oh, sorry, this is not the part. Ah, yes, here it is. What was beautiful about this is that if you take a look, just a second, yeah, so from here, so you will see them making a few of those flowy steps, and then they do this kind of, maybe the only part of the song where they're sort of breaking this rule at first glance, in fact they're not, which is going with rebounds, you know, back and forth and so on, but try to see how they maintain a line of movement throughout that. So now they come here, they're flowing, they stop, and now see how they will move along this line continuously. Even though they are doing rebounds and so on, they're still continuously moving, so they're still maintaining that rule. They just do like a small, you know, counter just at the end, they go to the side. And still they maintain the straight line of movement. There was another part that's really nice. Let me just jump back. So this whole part was so nice. And what they did there, so now there's the intense part of the song coming up. So how do you dance to that while maintaining the sort of limitation that you put? Which is, they decided to continue going straight, adding more force. They added so much force, it seems almost like they fell down a bit, in a way. Not really, but take a look here now. See how he also makes an additional step to the left, because there's so much force coming there. He wants to, you know, they want to dance that intense part, so it kind of carries them a bit too much, but still it's such a lovely effect. See? And now she turns to this side and she starts turning around him and they continue. So if we take a look at her, Look at her, how she's going. She starts to move circularly. And so throughout this song, there are only a few parts where they didn't follow this rule, because of course it's very challenging to do that non-stop. And of course, breaking the rule sometimes also adds a bit of something special, like a spice to the whole performance. But if you take a look at this performance, as I said, watch it once just focusing on her, watch it once just focusing on him, you will see how much, like, this whole effect together, like when you see everything that they've done, when you see the whole song where they follow this limitation, something magical happens. It's like all of those small decisions not to do something easier and dynamic, but to continue with the flow, adds up. And you end up with this magical feeling that you're not sure. It's not one moment that was like, that's the magical moment. It's like all these moments together where they follow that limitation added up to this feeling of something, of this flow. So what can we do with this? We can also, whether we're alone at home or practicing with somebody, we can give ourselves limitation in order to explore a certain aspect of our dance. And I remember one class, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, with Quiroga and Alejandra Mantignan, where they gave us an exercise in limitations. They basically told us, let's dance for a song. Everybody dances one song, but you're not allowed to do the side step. And suddenly you realize you're very limited on one level. You cannot do the hero, for instance, because it's back, side, front, or front, side, back. You cannot do the side step, obviously. And then you're suddenly discovering all new ways to move, like changing the speed of your movement, going forward a lot more and then back, pivoting. So one limitation in one aspect opens up creativity in a new aspect. And you can also tell yourself, I'm going to dance one song where I'm not allowed to make a step forward, or I'm not allowed to make a step to the side, or I'm not allowed to make a step backwards, or I'm not allowed to pivot, for instance. Another thing that you can practice is like what they did. I want to limit myself and not allow to change direction so much. I want to continuously move, for instance, in the direction of the ronda, maybe like in a bigger circle, or maybe like in 2 square meters. I'm gonna make a small, like, surround myself with chairs or something at home, and just decide to just dance in that small area, or maybe dance in a very small circle in that area. So all of these limitations, if you follow through, if you don't stop after 1 minute, if you continue practicing this, you will really discover how much more creativity you have in yourself. You just need to put the right limitations there for the creativity to arise. So this was, I think, enough for today. There's so much that we can analyze in this clip, but please take a look at this clip and at other clips as well, where you want to see maybe what other limitations couples put on themselves. If you like this kind of content, please tell us, or if you would like to see something else, or and how this can be improved, please tell us as well. We really rely on your not just support but feedback to make this as good as we can. So thank you very much, and see you next week. Bye. El último